So you can sit or you can stand, whatever you prefer. All of the exercises we're about to do are intended to address what I regard to be all the common problems that we tend to have with singing, which are vocal cords not meeting properly, tongue tension, jaw tension, registration, meaning chest voice, head voice, and mix, and some other things, which I can't think of at the moment. But all of these exercises are addressing one or more of those common problems for singers. So here's the first one. If you've been with me before, these are all going to be repeat. How's the level of the piano? Is it loud enough but not too loud? This is going to be a vocal fry followed by goo goo goo. So it sounds like this. Goo 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 goo. For those of you that don't know, the vocal fry makes our chords meet in a gentle way right before singing, and then the G sound of goo makes the chords come together also. So a very common problem with singers is that there's a gap in the vocal cords somewhere, either at the bottom or the top or in the middle, and this exercise addresses that. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Helen Gagel coming to us from the campus of Harvard University. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. So if any of the exercises hurt or make you feel like you're going to cough, stop. None of these are meant to be uncomfortable or to hurt. So just monitor yourself. Feel free to move your head back and forth or to move your arms, or if you're standing, you can, twist your body. All of those kind of body movement things help to break up tension in our neck, in our shoulders, in our jaw. Those are all common things when we're singing. We tense up without even realizing it. So just move gently a little bit while you're doing this. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. If you think of it, if you can think of it, flare your nostrils while you're doing this exercise, and we'll talk about why that's actually kind of an important thing. The feeling that you get right before you're going to yawn is a great posture for your inside your mouth for singing. Part of that is nostrils flared, and that helps to open up this part of our singing. Oh, that was the other common technique problem, is that this part of our resonance gets shut off without even realizing it. So if you think of it while you're doing all these other things, flare your nostrils. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. I'm throwing a lot of information at you here. So the things that vibrate when we sing: our mouth. Ideally, this is called the nasopharynx or soft palate, the top part of our head. The front of our face, which we sometimes call the mask, and our chest. All of those things are supposed to be vibrating and resonating, but sometimes one or more of them get kind of shut off or closed down for reasons that are a little bit complicated, and we don't even know it's happening. We're still singing, we're not aware that one of those things isn't happening or more. So some of these exercises are going to address that. So this next one causes this part to open up and resonate if we do it correctly. Ming a 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 ming. Nostrils flared. Ming a 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 ming. Ming a The M sound and the NG sound kind of force this thing open. So that's why we're doing it. I'm not singing too loud. I need to open up the chat here because people are messaging me and I want to make sure that I'm seeing the messages. So when I refer to the nasopharynx area or the soft palate, I'm basically referring to everything from the nose up as a resonating space for singing. Nose up is soft palate or nasopharynx. Nose down is mouth. Cheeks forward is mask. And then there's also the chest. All of those are things that are supposed to be vibrating and resonating when we sing. Ann Cole is saying, I am being asked to click on AA plus so that I am recording. How do I do that? You can't record if you're not the host, Ann, but I'm recording it and we'll be uploading it to YouTube. Do you need it for other reasons besides that? Okay, here's the next one. This one is for the front of the face, the mask. Nay, 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 nay. This is not supposed to be pretty sounding. Nay, 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 nay. Very nasal, very bright. Very Jerry Lewis or Fran Drescher. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. That one really helps me. It really helps me get the sound up in the front of my face where it's supposed to be. I have a tendency to sing too far back, and that really helps me. We don't do that one too high because the higher we go with that one, it makes our larynx want to go too high. Okay, here's one called a lip buzz or a tongue trill. So you can either do it like this, or you can do it like this. Or if you're really brave, do it like this. If you haven't done this before, it feels a little silly at first, and then we kind of get over it and we realize what it's doing. So a common problem for a lot of singers is that there is tension in their tongue, usually at the back of their tongue. The tongue is rising up or contorting in some way that's problematic. This exercise is designed to cause the tongue to lie flat. If you have trouble doing it, it means that your tongue is rigid, which is the reason you need to do it. So if it's hard at first, just be patient with yourself. It might take a week or a month or 6 months for your tongue to be able to relax enough to vibrate. So I think of the tongue trill as the easiest one. I think of this one as a little bit harder, and I think of this one as the hardest. So pick whatever one you can do right now, and then try to add the other one as we go along. But this is for tongue tension. It's kind of messy. It might make your nose itch. If this is the only exercise you ever do, it's going to change your life. If you did this for 5 minutes a day, you're going to have a story to tell in 6 months, I promise you. One of my voice teachers is 86. He can just hang his tongue out of his mouth while he's singing. It's so relaxed. It's just this piece of meat hanging down like this. There's no tension of any kind. He can sing as high as he wants, still at 86, because his technique is so relaxed. If you have trouble with the lip buzz, you can help yourself a little bit with your fingers. Don't smush it too much, just help it a little bit. If you're helping it too much with your fingers, then it's not addressing the problem of your tongue relaxing, but you can help it a little bit. Anybody brave enough to do the raspberry? Now this one. So all the exercises we've done up till now covered 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This one covers an octave. 1, 3, 5, 8, 5, 3, 1. So it's going to feel like it gets too high sooner because we're covering a bigger range. The thought on this one is singing high notes short is easier than singing them long. We tend to sing it lighter and with a thinner part of our vocal cord, which is actually correct. When we sing sustained, we tend to carry all this weight up there, and we sing with too thick of a sound. So this is for that. All of these exercises are stolen from my voice teachers. I didn't think of one of them. They're just the ones that they've been doing with me, and they've helped me tremendously. Just a little bitty sound up there. Not too loud. I feel like when I'm singing the high note, I'm singing with half of my voice. Now let's do this one. The syllable is NG, which is a weird one to sing on. But NG opens up the nasopharynx, which is from the nose up. So my mouth is mostly closed, but still quite a bit of sound coming out. I sort of picture the sound, the sound being directed to right behind my nose. If there was like a steel plate behind my nose, that's where I'm sending the sound, inside my head. If you can think of it, eyebrows a little bit raised and nostrils flared. You get how this works? We're kind of taking away the mouth part temporarily and focusing on the upper part. If we always sing with our mouth open, we tend to just, having the mouth resonate is pretty easy, but sometimes this part, for some of us, is not working well. So we kind of temporarily close the mouth and make this thing work. Can't remember where we were. So this next one's kind of a variation of that. I think of it as N-G-O-O-N-G. So it's reincorporating the mouth back into our sound. Where's the tip of the tongue now? On the lower teeth? Teal, when I do that, my tongue is behind my bottom teeth. I'm trying to have it just be relaxed and lay flat on the bottom of my mouth. Same on this one. So, how are you feeling? Are you feeling a little bit warmed up? People who don't sing don't realize what a physical sport it is. And I sometimes forget, like, if my body's tired, that means my voice is tired. I sometimes pretend that I can separate the two, but alas, I cannot. Let's start with Already Home. The reason I'm starting with this one is because I think it's the easiest one and because it's homophonic. Do you know what homophonic means? Homophonic means all the notes are kind of moving together like a hymn. Everybody's kind of got the same rhythms and the chords happen at the same time. The opposite of homophonic is polyphonic, which is when everybody's kind of got their own melody overlapping, like the Hallelujah chorus or some other things we've done that had counterpoint in them, and they tend to be harder to sing because you're on your own. You can't rely on the other parts to get your rhythm or your note. Let's start, please, at the top of page 4, where we have this. Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. See where I am? Let's do we have any basses on lights? We do, I see basses. So let's start with basses. We often tend to start with other parts, but let's do basses first. Right at 23, basses, ready, go. Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home. Once again, basses, ready, go. Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. that you're already home. What a beautiful bass line. So musical. Okay, basses, feel free to, anybody can sing along. If you know how to read and you can find your own part, that's great. I'll focus on one part at a time and then we'll go back and do them together. So here's the bass, tenor, alto, and soprano. And I'm going to focus on the tenor. Ready, and home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home. Once again, I'll give you all the pitches. Here's bass, tenor, alto, soprano, and focusing on the tenor. Ready, go. Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home. Good, now we'll focus on the alto. Here's the bass, tenor, alto, soprano. Ready, and home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home. Once again, bass, tenor, alto, soprano. Focusing on the alto still. Ready, here we go. Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home. Now the soprano. Bass, tenor, alto, and soprano. Focusing on sopranos. Ready, go. Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home. Once again, bass, tenor, alto, soprano. So if that first chord sounds a little funny, it's because it's got a suspension in it. The suspension is the soprano note, which goes, and then it resolves to a nice major chord. But the very first beat is this, called a suspension. Here we go, sopranos, bass, tenor, alto, soprano. Ready, go. Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home. Isn't that gorgeous? Just great writing. It's simple but beautiful. Okay, everybody together. And I'm just going to play the parts. I won't sing, but I'll play them in rhythm. Here's bass, tenor, alto, soprano. This is at 23 still. Ready, go. So let's get a little bit of a sense of that with the track. Then we're going to go back and add the section that precedes it. Let me find that spot real quick.
Your every journey leads you back home. You never left. You are only one.
Here we go. And.
Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home.
How's the volume on the track, by the way? Is it loud enough, but not too loud, I hope? Okay, so going back, same spot, all the parts, and then we're going to do them separately again, just to make sure people are getting them. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 4, and.
Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home.
Let's hear the bass is at the same spot, please. Basses alone. Hopefully it's helpful to kind of hear it in different ways, either me and the piano and then changing to tracks and so forth.
2, 3, 4, and.
Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home.
Tenors. Same spot, please. Where's the tenor track? Where did it go? 44 seconds is my cue.
1, 2, 3.
Here we go.
And.
Home is a place in.
Oh, somebody's asking me to give the notes each time. Sorry about that. Here's the bass note, tenor, alto, soprano, but we're focusing on the tenor. Sorry about that.
4, and.
Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home.
Now we'll do the altos and I'll give the note before we start. The notes are bass, tenor, alto, soprano at 43. Feel free to sing along on your own part.
1, 2, 3, 4, and. 1.
Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home.
And now soprano. Cue it up here real quick. And the notes again, bass, tenor, alto, Soprano.
Your home behind.
1, 2, 3, 4, and
Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home.
Good. Now let's go from the beginning with everybody. I never cease to marvel at the fact at how normal it has become to rehearse online via Zoom. All of you are so comfortable with getting to your computer or your iPad or whatever and logging in and singing along. It's like nobody minds. I mean, I'm not saying nobody loves it, but it's like such a normal thing now to rehearse online. We've all figured out how to do it. We're making the most of it, right? Okay, so full mix all parts from the beginning. This is Already Home, full mix all parts.
You think you're lost, but that's not true. You simply lived a dream or two.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
You traveled all this way to find you never left your home
1,
behind.
2, 3, 4, and
Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home.
Good. So does anybody not know where to find rehearsal tracks online, either on YouTube, or I think there's a way that you can download MP3s as well. I don't exactly know how it works on your end. I'm the one creating them, but then I send them to the people at Sounds Good, and they do the uploading. So also on the YouTube videos, there's a way to slow it down. There's a button somewhere on the YouTube interface that lets you slow things down. If we're working on a song that feels too fast, there's a way you can slow it down by percentages and make it a little bit easier to learn. I find the rehearsal tracks, for me, very, very helpful way to learn music. If I'm learning something new and somebody sends me a recording of any kind, even though I read music, there's a part of me that learns. If I'm looking at the music and hearing it on a recording, I get a better sense of the thing. Somebody's asking, did we get a password for it? And then Helen responded right away. The password is 22 spring ! With a capital S in spring. If you look in the chat, you can see the password, thanks to Helen. At number 9, do we alto sing? Measure 9. Yes, unless Jonathan Miller has expressly said for altos not to sing, I think all the sopranos and altos should sing at measure 9. Okay, let's look at the next section real quick. Sopranos, let's start with you at 38. This is bottom of 5, measure 38. We have to finish to begin. Ready, go. We have to finish to begin. We have to lose before we win. And soon we'll see it isn't far from where we were to where we are. So that's the same notes as the other verse. And then, hey, guess what? When we get to 52, all the parts repeat. They're the same as they were at 23. So all that learning that we did at 23 is now going to transfer to 52. We just learned a big chunk of the song. One more time, sopranos, 38, bottom of 5, ready, sopranos. We have to finish to begin. We have to lose before we win. And soon we'll see it isn't far from where we were to where we are. Home is a place in your heart. Make sense? Altos, let's look at your part, please. I'll give everybody their notes. Here's bass and tenor, alto, soprano. This is at 38, focusing on alto. Ready, and we have to finish to begin. We have to lose before we win. And soon we'll see it isn't far from where we were to where we are. Home is a place in your heart. And that part's repeated information. Once again, altos. Here's the bass and tenor. Alto, soprano. 38, ready, go. We have to finish to begin. We have to lose before we win. And soon we'll see it isn't far from where we were to where we are. Tenors. Here's bass and tenor note, alto, soprano. Here comes the tenors, ready, and we have to finish to begin. We have to lose before we win, and soon we'll see it isn't far from where we were to where we are. Home is a place in your heart. That's the lovely tenor line. Once again, tenors. Here's bass and tenor, alto, soprano. This is at 38, bottom of 5. Ready, go. We have to finish to begin. We have to lose before we win. And soon we'll see it isn't far from where we were to where we are. Now, basses. Here's the bass note, bass and tenor, alto, soprano. Basses, here we go. We have to finish to begin. We have to lose before we win. And soon we'll see it isn't far from where we were to where we are. Did you guys know we have a really experienced musician in our midst? I know a lot of you are. A lot of you have played instruments or been in ensembles for a long time, longer than I have even. One of the most experienced people on this Zoom call, Dave Perlman. You guys know that? He's been in so many groups playing many different instruments. He and I have had an email correspondence. Talk to him sometime about his musical journey. It is extensive and impressive. He's played the cello and the harp, among other things, and he sings, and he's been in so many groups. So we're lucky to have him, and he reads and sings very well. His when he sends his videos in, he's got a beautiful voice, and the he nails the notes like he's anchoring us from the bass department. So appreciate Dave very much. Okay, so let's get a sense of what this sounds like with everybody singing.
We have to journey leads you back to where you started.
This is top of 5.
Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find
Here it comes.
that you're already home. We have to finish to begin. We have to lose before we win. And soon we'll see it isn't far from where we were to where we are.
4 and
Home is a place.
So let's go back and we'll get that transition, and then we'll realize that we've learned half the song, which is kind of cool. I'm going back just a tad before 138, I hope.
You'll find that you're already home. We have to finish to begin. We have to lose before we win. And soon we'll see it isn't far from where we were to where we are.
4 and
Home is a place in.
Now, let's go back and get a sense of what we've learned so far in its entirety. Please go back to top of 3. All sopranos and altos starting at 9. I'll roll just a little bit before that.
You are lost.
Here we go. And
You think you are lost, but that's not true. You simply lived a dream or two.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1,
You traveled all this way to find you never left your home
1,
behind.
2, 3, 4 and
Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home. We have to finish to begin. We have to lose before we win. And soon we'll see it isn't far from where we were to where we are.
4 and
Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home.
1, 2, 3, 4 and
Home is a place in your heart. Every journey leads you back to where you start. Close your eyes, it's very easy. You'll find that you're already home.
1, 2,
Yes, there's no place as good as home.
So you've already learned most of the song. Even when it changes keys, then the parts are the same. They're just in a new key. So it's kind of cool. Once we've learned that chorus section, we've learned a big chunk of it. Good job on.
Paul, I have a quick question for
Yes.
counting. When we get to the retards, like on measure 51, could you just count that out? How long we're actually going to hold that C note? Measure 51, the retard.
I put it on.
I don't know how to count that.
I put it on the track. It's sort of like this. The chorus is sort of this. And 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Home is. So it'd be like this. 1 and 2 and to where we are. 2, 3, 4. Home is a place in. Let me go back one phrase. From where we are, from where we were to where we are. 1 and 2 and from where we were and to where we 1, 2, 3, 4. Home is a place in. And I put my voice counting on there because it's supposed to feel like a little bit of a retard each time. But when Jonathan's conducting it or rehearsing it, it might feel a little bit different. It's just that measure gets stretched a little bit, and then it goes right back into the tempo we've been at.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on, please, to Happy Together. Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right. Do any of you remember when this came out or when it was a hit? It was a little bit before my time, but I've listened to the recording so much and I've watched the YouTube video so much that I sort of feel like I experienced it. But obviously, what year did it come out? 60 what? I was born in 1966. What year did this come out? This came out in 1966.
Your mother probably sang it to you in the cradle, Paul.
Can you imagine? It's a catchy tune. I just arranged it for a client. A client wanted me to kind of modernize it and put it like with orchestra and new harmony vocals and stuff like that. But I kind of didn't want to mess with it because it's so iconic in its original form. So for those of you that haven't listened to the rehearsal video, let's just get a little sense of that. Sorry, I've got so many files up here. Full mix, all parts. Let's just get a little sense of the beginning of it. This is Happy Together, full mix, all parts. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together.
If I should call you up and pass the time, and you say you belong to me, and ease my mind, imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together.
Happy together.
I can see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me.
Such a great song. It's such clever songwriting. The verses are all in G minor, and then the chorus is in G major. But then even in the G major chord, I can't see me loving nobody. He puts a D minor chord in there, which is borrowed from the G minor key. I can't see me loving nobody but you. That's part of why it sounds so interesting. Okay, let's start with the basses. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. Da 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 Let's go back. I'll go a little slower. 1, 2. 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. Da 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 Hey, somebody just pointed out there's a typo in this chart. It's supposed to say, I can't see me. At top of page 6, it's I can't see me loving nobody but you, not I can. I can see myself with somebody else. No, I can't see myself with anybody else. Changes the whole vibe of the song. Dave, yes.
I've got a question for you, Paul. The end part of the dot and dot comes out, at least for me, it's like a hum. Because it's sort of hard to sing it, but the lower you get, the harder it is to get it right, and you can't get any volume on it. What do we do with that?
We don't spend any time thinking about it. Just sing it as best you can. I mean, I can't hardly make any sound down there either. It's supposed to be sort of a rhythmic idea as much as anything. The note doesn't last for but a second. So it's not going to be important as far as a note is concerned. It's more the rhythm of it. Jump, 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 jump. It's like a guitar or a drum. You know, it's voices imitating instruments. So don't sweat it too much. You're going to sound much better on it than me because you've got a lower voice. So you're going to be able to make that note speak better. Da 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 da. It's just kind of a passing thing. Okay, so let's see. Everybody can sing along on your own part. Here's the tenor, alto, soprano. So it's like this. But we're going to focus on the tenor now. Ready, and. Da, 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 da. Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. Da, da, da. Just that much again, tenors. Here's the bass. Here's the alto, soprano, and tenor. 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. Da 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 da. So happy together. That's the tenors. Altos, let's see what you're doing. Here's bass, here's tenor, here's alto, and soprano. We'll focus on the altos for a minute. 2, ready, go. Da 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 This is voices imitating instruments. The parts that don't have the melody have to sort of comprise the chords of the song, and they're imitating, you know, drums or a guitar or a keyboard, however you want to think of it. Okay, now we're working on soprano. Here's the bass line, here's the tenor, here's the alto, and here's the soprano. 2, ready, and da-da, da-da-da, 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 sorry. Nothing. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, and ease my mind, imagine how the world would be so very fine, so happy together. Okay, so let's try a little bit of parts separate using the rehearsal tracks, starting with the basses.
This is Happy Together, bass rehearsal track. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Da 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 da
Good. Here's the tenor, same spot.
This is Happy Together, tenor rehearsal track. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. Da 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 da. So happy together.
Oops. I think I made a
I
mistake.
can't see me.
I made a mistake on the rehearsal track. It's supposed to be so happy together. And I think I sang happy together. Darn it. I need to fix that and send out a new track. It's got a wrong note. So happy together. I sang a C. Darn it. Oh well, I'll fix it. Okay, altos, here comes your part.
This is Happy Together, alto 1 rehearsal track. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good, and then here's the sopranos. Is this helpful to hear them separately? I hope. Here's sopranos.
Happy Together, soprano rehearsal track. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
If I should call you up,
Christine took a cattail to the eye during that run through. Okay, here we go. All parts. Do your best.
This is Happy Together, full mix, all parts. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together.
If I should call you up and ask a dime, and you say you belong to me, and ease my mind, imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together.
So happy together.
I can see me loving.
So that's that one. You already know the song. It's just a matter of learning this arrangement. Okay, let's move on then to Lux Eterna. We'll just start learning the notes on this one. It's a really beautiful song. It's a little bit difficult in places, so we're going to learn the notes without the Latin first. We're just going to sing on la 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 or do 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 until we get the notes learned, and then we will begin learning the Latin. Okay. Let's start at top of 4 with the soprano and alto. Let's just sing on la 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 like this. Ready, go. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Just that much again. Sopranos and altos, top of 4, the third measure. I guess that's measure 9. Ready, and la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la la and then right there, the basses go la la la. 1, 2, 3, 4. La la la. Basses. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Just that much basses. This is starting top of 5 basses on the third measure. The word requiem, but we're just singing it on la for now. 2, ready, basses. La la la, la la la. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la. This will all make sense later. When we hear it in context, it's, some of it, sometimes it can be a little odd when we're first learning it. So at the top of 5, the last measure, the tenors enter on the word lux. That's pronounced like Loox, lux, which means light. Here we go. Tenors, last measure of 5, 2, ready, and la. Somebody's sending me a message. Seems like you're singing Lux Eterna as if it were 4 quarter notes. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I don't think so. I think I'm doing it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Not sure what you mean. 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2. Okay, so let's just, for the fun of it, I want you to, those of you that have not listened to this recording yet, I want you to get a little bit of a sense of the feel of it. It's a really beautiful song. Go back to the beginning just for a minute.
This is Lux Eterna, full mix, all parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, off.
Okay, we'll stop right there. Let's just break it down into separate parts. Sopranos, let me hear you top of 4. Feel free to sing it right now just on la, la, la. We don't have to deal with the language yet. Let's just deal with the notes for a minute. This is top of 4 sopranos.
And 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
I put the bass part in there just to cue you in.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, off.
Good, let me hear sopranos and altos again. This is the part we rehearsed just a minute ago, but just on la, la, la. Don't worry about the Latin yet. 2, ready, and La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Isn't that a beautiful melody? I love it. Basses, let me hear you at your entrance, please. Top of 5 on the word requiem, but we're singing on la, la, la. 2 basses and la, la, la. Rest. La, la, la. Rest. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, off. Tenors, let me hear you, please. You enter last measure of 5. Actually, let's just introduce the basses and tenors to the opening section, which is sort of like Gregorian chant. Requiem aeternam dona eis Domine, e lux perpetua lucea eis. That's the feeling of the beginning. It's very haunting. Basses and tenors, let's just try it on la la la. La 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 la. So there's a little bit of a hesitation on nam. Requiem aeternam dona eis Domine. It's sort of a stylistic thing with Gregorian chant. Here we go. On la 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 and la 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 la. That's a sense of the beginning. I'll try it with the recording and you can hear what I mean. This is the one with no click or counting, so you can hear the voices better.
This is Lux Eterna, full mix, all parts, without click or counting. Please do not record to this track.
Requiem aeternam dona eis Domine, e lux perpetua lucea eis.
One more time, just for the basses and tenors to get the sense of that. We'll spend more time on the language.
This is Lux Eterna, full mix, all parts, without click or counting.
Please do not record to this track.
Requiem aeternam dona eis Domine, e lux perpetua lucea eis.
Basses, tenors and altos. So the tenors and altos are singing the same note. The altos are kind of down low and the tenors are kind of up high. Altos, can I hear you? Last note, top of 5. The word is lux. We'll just sing it on la for now. To altos. La. 1, 2, 3, 4. La. La. Just that much again, altos. The altos and tenors are kind of like a string part behind the basses. Altos, last note, top of 5. On the word is lux. 2, ready, and so that's a little taste of Lux Eterna. I would encourage you, if you're willing, to spend a little bit of time with the rehearsal tracks, because then you can just imitate the language that you hear. Some of you have sung in Latin before. Some of you have not, but you can imitate the sounds that you're hearing And there's is there a pronunciation guide? Yes. Inside the front cover of the music, there's a pronunciation guide. Okay, let's move on then, please, to Rise, Shine. Just kind of want to get going on, get a sense of each one. So the first measure that you sing in is measure 4. Last measure of the first page. For example, the sopranos are going to sing 1, 2, 3. All rise, shine, for the light is a-comin'. Rise and shine, for the light is a-comin'. All rise. But you sing the O right before that. So sopranos, let's hear you. Measure 4. 1, 2, 3. All rise, shine, for the light is a-comin'. Rise and shine, for the light is a-comin'. All rise, shine, for the light is a-comin'. My Lord says he's coming by and by. So the trick with this song is to not do too much diphthong. Instead of rise and shine, it's rise and shine. We mostly stay on the ah sound. It's a little bit of African American vernacular. There's actually a pronunciation guide recording that's been made for you. So try, if you can, not to do too much diphthong on rise and shine. It's rise and shine. It kind of just stays ah. That makes sense. So it's a little bit tricky to do if you haven't done it before. Sopranos, one more time. So the beginning is kind of slow. 1, 2, 3, oh. And then when we get to the top of the second page, which is actually page 3, it's suddenly rise and shine, dicka, 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 rise and shine. That tempo is suddenly faster. It's actually jubilantly, if I'm to be honest. Here we go, sopranos. 1, 2, 3. Oh, rise, shine, for the light is a-comin'. Rise and shine, for the light is a-comin'. Oh, rise, shine, for the light is a-comin'. My Lord says he's coming by and by. He's coming by and by. It's hard to do this vowel thing consistently through the whole song. But I'm going to, so you might hear me doing it being inconsistent too. It's not deliberate. It's just that I'm thinking about the notes and the rhythms, and sometimes I forget. Okay, altos, let's hear you at the beginning. You have this, 1, 2. Oh, rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and shine. Oh, by the way, you see those dotted lines between phrases? They're supposed to mean don't breathe, but we're not going to observe all of them. We're going to observe half of them. We're going to do it 2 measures at a time. It'll feel more natural. Rise and shine, breathe. Rise and shine, breathe. Rise and shine, yes, my Lord says he's coming by. Oh, rise and shine, breathe. Make sense? So every 2 bars, basically, we're breathing. Altos, let me hear you on the O and then your part. So the O measure is this one. 1, 2, O, rise and shine, breathe. Rise and shine, breathe. Rise and shine, yes, my Lord says he's coming by. Oh, and then it repeats. So you get 2 measures on the page turn, and then you got to flip back. What was the spiritual we did last semester that had the repeats? Oh, something about the little baby. It was a spiritual, and it was constantly flipping back to repeated sections. I already can't remember. We spent 100 hours with it, and I couldn't name it for you if I had a gun to my head.
What you gonna call your pretty little baby?
You win the prize money. It's being sent to your house right now by Ed McMahon. Okay, tenors, let's hear you. So notice in measure 4, it's a staggered entrance. Bass, tenor, alto, soprano. It's one of those, called a pyramid or arpeggio or staggered entrance. Bass, tenor, alto, soprano, rise and shine. Tenors, you come in on beat 2. 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Oh, my Lord says he's coming by. Oh, rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Oh, my Lord says he's coming by and by. For those of you that don't read music, here's how this goes. The section that starts at measure 5 has a repeat symbol. That's the 2 lines with the 2 dots. That means we're coming back to that measure. It's just a heads up that we're coming back to it. We sing all of page 3. We turn the page. We have one measure, and then we have a measure that's under a bracket with a 1. That's the first ending. And at the end of the first ending, there's a repeat sign, which means go back to the other repeat sign. So then we go back to measure 5. We do that page again. We turn the page again. We sing the first measure of that next page, which is measure 11. But the second time we jump over the first ending to the second ending, which has different information in it. And then we're going on to 14, and 14 has repeats also. That section gets repeated for different measures. Okay? Basses, let's hear you. 2, 3, 4. Oh, rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says he's coming. Rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says he's coming by and by. That's a great bass line. My Lord says he's coming by and by. I challenge you all to not use any diphthongs the rest of the day when you're talking to people. Rise and shine. Okay, let's get just a little sense of this with the whole track. I know we're just beginning to learn it, but let's try it a little bit.
This is Rise, Shine, full mix, all parts.
Here come the basses.
1, 2, 3.
A bunch of you are communicating to me that the track is distorted. I'm sorry about that. I can't tell on my end because it's not distorted on my end, but I tried to turn it down as we were going along there. So that's a little sense of Rise, Shine. Our time is up. thank you so much for hanging in there with all of the challenges of technology and difficult music and Latin and singing by yourself in your house or your apartment and listening to distortion or not enough volume or whatever. There's so many reasons to be frustrated or to quit or to things that are trying to discourage us from music making. I, for one, just refuse to quit. Like, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying to make music. And I'm going to hope that we can be back together when it's safe. I'm hoping that there's a decline in the numbers and we can be back together doing this in person and not having to deal with the frustrations of technology. There is one advantage for me of doing it online, and that is that I get to interact with more of you. When I'm specifically helping at Arlington Heights, I won't see a bunch of you that I get to see online that are parts of other choirs. So I appreciate that I get to, see more faces and interact with more of you this way. But obviously, online rehearsing is not what we want to be doing. But thank you for coming today and for hanging in there with your own personal challenges and the challenges that we face collectively with technology and rehearsing over Zoom. It's absurd. But what's funny is you guys are still like making music. Like I'm so proud of the work we've created together with the videos. I know it's funny. I sort of think in terms of videos now. When we were working on Happy together, I could see all of you bopping to the music, and I was sort of picturing what the video would look like if we make a video. But I'm praying to God that we don't make a video of Happy together, and that we're actually happy together singing it. Thank you all so much.
Thanks for a great
Thank
rehearsal,
you,
Paul.
Paul.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Paul.
Great rehearsal. Wow.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Paul.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Paul, did you record the Latin song in the tenor?
I
Or was
did.
that someone else? Okay, beautiful, beautiful.
It is,
So much.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.